They are so strict and toxic so they can control me. 8 confessions from average internet users, just like you. I attended all my friend's college classes and took all her exams for her this semester. We've been best friends since diapers, and she's been struggling with depression for several years now. During the past year, it got really bad and reached a point where she couldn't even get out of bed in the morning anymore, let alone attend her college classes and take notes. Fortunately, our classes have been entirely online since the start of the pandemic, and our degrees belong to 2 different departments of the same university. So what I did this whole semester was I attended all her classes while logged in with her accounts, took notes, answered all her professors' questions while impersonating her, and later took, and passed, all her exams for her. It was all way easier than it sounds, given that the vast majority of her professors didn't care about students' cameras being on. And for the few that did, I managed to come up with various excuses until they eventually let me off the hook. The only downside to all this was that my schedule this semester was ridiculous, with me having to attend both my own classes and her classes. But it was worth it in the end, because it meant helping my friend. I also realized that her degree is 10x more interesting than mine and that I should probably be looking into changing my major soon. My friend is gradually getting better, so hopefully she'll start attending her classes again next semester. And to be completely honest, I don't really feel bad for doing this. I know it's cheating and all, but if anything I'm just really impressed that I was able to pull this off for an entire semester. I installed a keylogger on my high school computers to steal my teacher's Gmail passwords and be able to have access to the exams. I did that both of the years of high school. In Spain, high school is considered to be the 2 years before university. I installed a keylogger on the computers, and through high school I had all the Gmail passwords of all my teachers. It was not even difficult to do. I just carried the program on a pen drive, and in the lunch breaks I went to the different classes and I installed the program. At first I thought that it was not going to be possible because I didn't have the computer password, but it turns out that the passwords for all the computers were the same, including the passwords they gave us for the computers that we used. I'm still amazed by how stupid they were by doing this. Because there was more than one teacher for each subject, they shared a Google Drive folder with all the exams. I got amazing grades through high school without studying. I never did anything more with the passwords, didn't care to read their emails or anything like that, to be honest. My only goal was to have access to the exams. I've never told anyone about this and I never got caught. The only reason that I didn't do it in college it's because each teacher had his own laptop and they took it with them after classes. I like working a low-level job. Honestly, I don't have a big ambition in life. I work in a warehouse and I think I'm happy doing just that. I really enjoy my job. I used to work in an office for a pretty big insurance company and almost had a nervous breakdown. I've been a manager and even worked in the office of my current company, but stress and anxiety got too much. Now I work in the warehouse just doing small things like moving freight by hand, debriefing drivers, and scanning goods in. I love it. It pays a lot more than minimum wage due to the risk factor. Heavy freight other postal companies won't take. But the thing is, firstly, I'm an only child and always felt a massive pressure to impress my parents as their only offspring. Almost all of my cousins have gone to university to get degrees and impressive jobs. I tried university but couldn't be bothered with it. I'm happy just doing this, but at the back of my mind there is a pressure to do something more even though I'm happy where I am. No stress, no anxiety, good pay, and Monday to Friday 9-5. Somebody replied, I've been thinking a lot lately that it would be so nice to have a job like that. I have really bad anxiety and depression, so even though I'm quite smart and very capable, every job I've had causes me massive amounts of stress, worry and anxiety. I think finding a job like you described would be incredibly beneficial to my mental health and peace of mind. Sounds like you got it pretty good. I'd love to go to work and not have a mini heart attack once a day, and truly enjoy going to work. I'm jealous of my roommate. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I am jealous of my roommate. But not for the reasons you may think. I am jealous because she got bariatric surgery. I've been trying really hard to lose weight and keep it off. starting at 211, and now I'm 179. Sounds good, right? I guess. But I can't stand the praise she is getting. Look at all the hard work you did, so proud of you, and for what? She didn't do anything. While over here, going to the gym every day, cutting everything out of my life, eating better, and I still hate myself. While she boasts about how she's going to be 140 in a year. All because of surgery. While in a year I'll probably still be in the 170s, hopefully 160s. It's just hard. I hate being jealous, and I know I shouldn't be. Maybe I'm jealous because a couple months ago she told me I should get the surgery too because I'm having a hard time losing weight, and that's what really hurt me. I just ended up cuddling with my best friend from 6th grade during a sleepover. Neither of us thought anything like this would ever happen. We just decided to have a regular sleepover like we do every once in a while. We'd watch shows and just laugh at them while sitting on different couches. This time though, as I was laying on one of the couches, he asked me to move as I was taking his spot. I just stayed where I was and acted sorta childish. He simply decided to lay on top of the couch too, which meant he was laying mostly on me. I was so surprised, but at the same time it felt so comfortable. He started to wrap his legs around mine and he even laid an arm against my shoulder. He didn't really say anything, but later we changed spots and ended up doing a similar thing together. It was like just a mutual thing, like we both wanted something like this even though we were too scared to ask for it. We'd be careful and listen for when my parents would come down so that we could go back to our original spots on separate couches, but when they left we got back to cuddling each other. There was no hint that anything like this would happen, but honestly it was a nice experience I hope to do again. It's probably gonna be my biggest secret. I am desperately in love with my coworker, but she has no idea. It's really that simple. I've had relationships here and there, some more emotionally involved than others, and all relatively short. But every time I've either left the relationship or it's fallen apart, and usually I have the overwhelming feeling that it just wasn't right. I don't say that as a coping mechanism, I say that as a genuine thing. I just got to a point where I realized that the relationship was not going to mature into what I was looking for, or that my SO and I were totally incompatible people. I am young, 22, but I do not sleep around or have vacuous relationships, and never have. I date with purpose. But this woman, my goodness. She is honestly one of the most attractive people I've ever seen in my life, let alone met. We work together, though not always in the same room. Our positions at work change around, so sometimes we work together, sometimes we don't. I am a social creature, but only for a limited amount of time. After a short conversation, my social battery is exhausted and I'm ready to be alone for a bit. But this girl is the same way, so we talk for a bit, and then the conversation has a lull and we simply sit in the other's company and watch TV together at work. She is much quieter than I, and she keeps her emotions very, very sheltered, so I never know if she's just being polite, or if she can tell that I'm completely head over heels for her. We have never hung out outside of work, and I know how it sounds for me to say I'm totally in love with someone I have literally never seen outside the workplace, or the gym. We have a gym at work. I have heard people make such statements and written them off as crazies, or the emotionally damaged or immature, people who immediately invest everything into a very new or non-existent relationship. Being in love with someone you don't know outside the workplace, it's such a high school, puppy love thing. I have always been skeptical of anyone who falls in love quickly. But this girl, this woman, she is unlike anyone I have ever known. As soft as this sounds, I literally feel a burning in my heart and chest when I see her face. This is, I imagine, what people mean when they say love at first sight. Unlike every other relationship I have had, I remember the exact moment I first saw her. Now, I am sure there will be those who wonder, well, Steve, why don't you just ask her out? But what sort of story would this be without complications? Relationships among co-workers at my job are frowned upon. Not unheard of, but looked down on by others. They lend themselves to speculation and criticism. I would endure it all if I knew she felt the same. She is 8 years my senior. She has not had a relationship in at least a few years. She uses some dating apps but has told me that nothing ever becomes of her matches. Not that I use dating apps at all. She is stunningly beautiful, but nerdy, quirky. She cosplays, she watches anime. She hates real maple syrup and has never seen most classic movies. She never warms up leftover pizza, but always warms up leftover pasta. She likes guns, and our job, and values service above self. We are nearly the same personality. I find myself captivated by her every word when she speaks. Perhaps I have not felt this way since my first love in high school. Perhaps I have never felt this way before. I do not discuss relationships with my friends, co-workers or not, and as such, this complete and utter draw to this incredible person has become my deepest secret. I don't know why I'm writing this. I don't think I'm looking for advice. I think I just needed it to be heard by the universe, or maybe myself. Update from days later. We were texting back and forth yesterday about Stranger Things, which she got me into, and I floated the idea of going out together. She said she was interested but, as I mentioned previously, is out of town for most of what little time is left before she deploys. I said maybe we can make it happen before you leave, to which she agreed it was a solid maybe. In essence, she's inclined to the idea, but the timing is poor, as I expected. Sort of wishing I'd mentioned it sooner so that variable could have been ruled out, but in my opinion, the outlook is good. Today is my birthday. I'm over 35 years old, yet I'm excited like an infant girl seeing a pony. It's been 4 years since my then wife of 1 year left me for a co-worker and left me devastated. Life was miserable for the following 3 years. But this year, I'm dating the woman of my dreams. She's beautiful inside and out. She's actually celebrating my birthday today and I'm just excited. I feel alive again. The problem is no one knows me as the excited guy, so I can't express my excitement to anyone. That's where you guys come in. I'm 18 and my parents track my location. I'm not allowed to turn it off so they know where I am and what I'm doing. Is this normal? My parents can check my location anytime and they strictly told me not to turn it off. They said it's for my safety, but sometimes I feel like they're being invasive and do not respect my privacy because I feel uncomfortable going anywhere with my friends because I feel like my parents are monitoring me everywhere I go. I do not like the idea of my parents not trusting me and checking my location every time because it makes me feel like they know everything about my life. All my friends' parents don't do that because they trust them, and if they want to know something they would just text. I feel like other people's parents respect their children's social life and don't feel the need to stalk their location. I find it so annoying when my parents know everywhere I go and ask about it every time. I'm also a university student. I have tried to talk to my parents many times, but they are so strict and toxic so they can control me easily since I'm dependent on them. If I don't listen to their rules, they can take my phone, stop supporting me, treat me like poop at home. Thank you for making it all the way through the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these confessions, and subscribe to the channel for more top Reddit content.